Hey guys, it's Frank from Cruising with Wheels. When you go on a cruise, are you hoping for some romance? Maybe a shipboard fling? The stars, the moon, some champagne. Oh, how romantic. But what if you get a stalker? Or even worse, a crime scene? Today, let's talk about the realities of your Love Boat Cruise, right here in this episode of my Tales from the High Seas. I remember back in 1981 when I got married for the first time. And we were talking to our travel agent, my ex-wife and I, about what we were going to do for our honeymoon. And I remember one of the options was take a cruise. And I was like, a cruise? Oh, please. No way. Not for me. I'm not going on some cruise. That is crazy. Nah, I'm not interested. No. Another choice. Well, boy, how things have changed. Now, some people think that their cruise is gonna be just like the Love Boat. Yeah, those of you who are old enough to remember the Love Boat. Those of you now are watching it in reruns. And, you always hope for the best. And you want it to be like the Love Boat. And maybe it will. But probably not. Now, for one of Kevin's clients, Melissa, her and her fiance, Jeremy, Jeremy proposed to Melissa on the NCL Epic. So it was a great cruise for the both of them. And a year later, in 2018, they both got married. And yep, you know it, Kevin, of course, did her hair for her wedding. Now, when we were on our June Alaskan cruise aboard the NCL Bliss, we met so many wonderful people, so many fans and subscribers who we got to talk to. And one was this adorable couple, Austin and April, and they got engaged. Okay, unbeknownst to both of their parents, they were on this cruise engaged to each other. And I remember talking to them, and they said, please, don't mention this right away in your video vlogs, because our parents don't know that we got engaged. And we're like, don't you worry. Tick a lock, lips are sealed. We won't give it away. They were adorable. Now, so many people book their cruises for birthdays, anniversaries, or like the people we know, the guys that are gonna, ask their girls to marry them. Woo, engagement cruises. Or maybe for their, of course, the biggie, the honeymoon cruise. Or some wedding vow renewals aboard the ship in their chapel. And that's always exciting because you bring your family and your friends with you. And hopefully it's a romantic time. Quiet time for the couple, romantic dinners, under the stars, out on deck, sipping champagne. It's a romantic time. And you always hope that the entire cruise, wherever it goes, Eastern Caribbean, Western Caribbean, Southern Caribbean, warm weather, lovely nights out, are also on its way for some romantic nights in, if you know what I mean. Getting a little something. Yep. You always hope for the best. But what if your Love Boat cruise takes a nasty turn and you meet someone, and of course you're always hoping for the best, and you're excited, and you're like, oh, I met someone and he or she seems so nice and this is going to be great. Oh my gosh, a little shipboard fling. But they turn out to be a stalker, a little crazy, clingy, obsessive, compulsive nut job. And it's not like you're at home at a party and you're like, oh my God, I got to get away from this. I'm going home. You can't go home. I mean, seriously, you're on a ship. You're stuck there. Yep. And this person is on the ship with you. And they're stalking you all over. And you can't get away from them. Oh my God. What do you do? Well, on my first cruise, I remember with 10 of my friends aboard the NCL Sky in 2001. I mean, oh gosh, it was a gay Atlantis cruise. 2,000 gay men aboard the NCL Sky. Let me tell you, my friends, they were hooking up with everybody. It was party central, disco dancing, a wild time. You got it. In the pool, in the hot tubs, in the saunas. Woohoo! A wild time was had by all. But you know what? I don't remember them having any stalking incidents, thank the good Lord. And I, of course, was a good boy. Now, on our NCL Gem Cruise in 2015, Kevin ran into a stalker of his own. Now, we had gotten up and we had done the breakfast buffet, and then we did a little tour around the ship. And then I think we hit the casino real quick. It was like our third day. It was sea day number 2. And, I had to go to the bathroom. So Kevin got me to the nearest handicapped bathroom, got me inside. And of course, I always say to him, now, you wait outside for me. Wait outside the door, okay? Because, I don't want to be in here and have some crazy cuckoo start grabbing at the door handle and banging on the door. Because, I don't work well under pressure. So he always waits outside. Well, while he's outside, some creepy guy comes up behind him. And he's all like, hey, guy, how you doing? So, can you tell me where the gym is? And Kevin's like, yeah, it's up on deck 12. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So, is your partner in there? And he's like, yeah, my partner's in the bathroom. Oh, so he's your partner. Oh, yeah. And then he starts to rub and touch Kevin's arm, like all creepy like. He's like, so, are you faithful? And Kevin's like, yes. Oh. And then Kevin goes, you better get up to the gym. And the guy's like, oh, okay, thanks. And walks away. And Kevin's like, oh God, creepy. Oh, I feel like going to the shower and scrubbing my skin raw under the scalding hot water. Ugh, gross. So I come out and he's telling me this story about the creepy guy. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding. Who says that to somebody? Oh, can you imagine people going up to other people going, oh, so is that your wife? Is that your husband? Oh, are you faithful? Who does that? Disgusting. Gross. Go away. Be gone with you, oh creepy one. Now, 5 days later, okay, Kevin was talking to another guy and gal that he had met in the casino. Okay, because, Kevin makes friends with everybody in the casino. I don't know what it is. It kind of money and gambling kind of brings everyone together. Now, this guy, Jim, he had met at the beginning of the cruise. And he had been talking to Jim, and Jim is gay, and Jim's partner had passed away a few years earlier from an illness. And, Jim was kind of talking to Kevin and saying, okay, I know how it is taking care of someone who's ill and my partner passed away, and I know what you're going through, blah, 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 blah. At the time, Kevin's like, oh my God, this is a depressing conversation. I'm on a cruise. I want to hear about your partner dying of a long, tragic illness. Okay, I'm so sorry for your loss, but I'm on a cruise. And Kevin, bereft of emotion. And they met this other woman, Debbie, and they all kind of became casino friends. Okay, so now again, it's 5 days later, and Kevin is talking to Jim, and finds out that this creepy guy has also been stalking Jim. Okay, he's got the gaydar on, and he's hitting every gay guy you can find, or maybe other guys on the ship. So Jim is telling Kevin that this creepy guy was following him. When someone's following you, when you're being stalked. So finally, Jim whips around that one day and says to him, "Why are you following me?" And so the guy's like, "Oh, well, I wanted to know if, maybe you were interested." And so Jim decides to kind of play with him, okay? Kind of act dumb, kind of play with him. And so Jim is like, "Oh, interested? Oh, I have a lot of interests. Oh yeah, I like cooking and gardening. Oh, I love to hit the casinos, and I have so much I'm interested in." And the guy was like, "Oh," and he kind of didn't know what to say. So then Debbie, okay, who's just a friend, okay, just a friend that he met on board the ship, right? So Debbie comes over and goes, "Oh," she goes to Jim, "Oh, hey, honey. Oh, I was wondering where you are." And she kind of comes up to Jim and kind of puts her arm around him, pretending that she's Jim's wife. And so the creepy guy is like, "Oh," and mouth drops open, kind of like doesn't know what to do. Like, oh my God, I just got caught trying to pick up this guy in front of his wife. And so then he goes scurrying off, right? This guy's been stalking everybody, trying to, hook up, with all these guys on board. But he's so creepy and lechy and gross, I mean, it's if you want to meet somebody, you're open and you're honest and you're straightforward, and you're not like all like, "Hey, how you doing? Yeah, are you interested? Are you faithful?" I mean, that's just nasty. Ain't nobody want any of that. Ah. Now I remember in my younger days, when I was younger and had a lot more hair, I remember being at a party. Um, and I think I went with my best friend, Kevin, and I'm sure Billy was there, and Brad and Bill and Max, and it was the usual cadre of friends at a gay party. We had been invited by somebody I think that maybe Billy knew, in a really nice house way out somewhere, and we all carpooled together and got there, and it was really nice, in a beautiful house inside, lovely grounds outside, and gardens. Well, there was this guy there who apparently took a shine to me and wouldn't leave me alone. I mean, he was following me everywhere I went, inside the house, outside the house, and he was just like all over me like white on rice, and I was just not interested. And back in those days, I was quiet and shy, and had just come out, and it was I needed the protection of my friends. And so every one of they all got together, and they were like, "Okay, Frank is not to be left alone. There must be some one of us with him at all times. This guy will just leave him alone, so we will be there for protection." And so that's what happened during the whole party, is that every one of my friends was with me, at all times. So, at one point, Kevin was with me. And then if he said, okay, I want to go, whatever, Billy, take my spot. Max, take my spot. And they were with me, but he kept following, But, I got to tell you, that was back then. Now, I would turn to this guy and go, what is wrong with you? Okay, get away from me. Piss off. Dude, take a clue. Not interested. Move on. Move on. But, back then, I was still a shy little flower. Now, there are some crazy things when you're on board and you get in your cabin, wanting to have a quiet romantic cruise. As one couple found out, and my mother saw this story on Inside Edition and just was like, Kevin, you're going on your cruise in a month. You better make sure this doesn't happen to you. And according to the story from USA Today, it was a couple called named Chris and Dana White, and they were on a Carnival cruise. And according to the story, they were on the Carnival Fantasy on a 3-day Caribbean cruise. They left out of the port of Mobile, Alabama, and they says, we were just flabbergasted that there was a camera in the room and it was plugged up and working. And the husband said it was warm to the touch, which meant it was live and working. And they notified Carnival security on the ship, and they used their cell phone it says the couple called Carnival security and used their cell phone to IM an employee who inspected and disassembled the device. He said, I was thinking, I can't believe this is actually happening to us. That you would get into your cabin and find that someone had put a hidden camera somewhere. I think they said it was behind the TV. And like me, I watch a lot of TV, because sometimes I'm in my cabin a lot when Kevin goes off. And so a lot of the TVs you can pull out, they have a swivel arm, and maybe that's how they found it. But Carnival said the transmitter was turned over to the FBI for further inspection. And the Whites were, quote, advised of the involvement with law enforcement. Following standard procedures, the cruise line also notified the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. And still, Dana White told Inside Edition that her peace of mind had been robbed. I mean, you do feel like you've been violated. And their privacy had been invaded. But there's some crazy, creepy people. Now, nobody knows whether it was somebody from a previous cruise, whether it was a crew member, or what it was. But haven't seen any follow-up as to what happened or who actually was involved. Now, segueing from romantic cruise to stalker on board to finding a video cam installed in your cabin, we then get to the most worst case scenario, crime scene. And there have been several murders in the past on the high seas on these cruise ships. In July 25th of 2017, Christy Manzanares, 39 years old, was murdered by her husband on an Alaskan cruise aboard the Emerald Princess. I mean, that's scary. Her own husband killed her. I mean, my God, it's just awful. I can't even imagine. And then this year, January 19th, 2018, aboard the Carnival Elation, Tamara Tucker, 50 years old, was murdered by her longtime boyfriend. I mean, is the cruise ship experience now the go-to for offing your husband or wife, boyfriend or girlfriend? But I've noticed it's the women who end up being dead. The wife, the girlfriend, being killed by their boyfriend or husband. What is up with that? Now that is some scary shit. So I don't know. Now we're boarding the cruise ships, and I'm thinking to myself, everybody I'm looking at, all these couples, I'm thinking, is one of them going to end up being murdered? Are we going to be part of some crime scene story on TV? I mean, it is just getting wild. Along with all these other people who are just, quote, falling off the ships. Why are all these people falling off the ships? What's up with that? Falling off the ships, being murdered by a spouse. What's going on? I don't know. My answer always is, it's got to be that, alcohol is playing a big part in what is going on. And, obviously, the people that are unfortunately being murdered, there's got to be, background trouble, history in their relationships when all of a sudden they're on a cruise ship, which is supposed to be an exciting romantic time, and somebody snaps, gets into an argument, probably alcohol involved, snaps. And in one case, in terms of Christy, her husband beat her to death. Strangled her, choked her, and beat her to death. I mean, my God, I can't even imagine. It's crazy and it's scary. And hopefully we won't hear any of these stories again, because it's just quite unnerving and sad, very sad. So I kind of wanted to go through, I guess the highs and lows of the Love Boat experience, which hopefully will be a good one and not a tragic one. So, on behalf of Kevin and myself from Cruising with Wheels, remember, if you're just watching this video and you're not a regular subscriber, please hit that subscribe button and click on that bell next to it, and make sure you get automatic notifications every time our videos go live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning. Yep, and in this video, December 1st, Kevin and I are still on our NCL getaway vacation. Yep, it's the last sea day for us, because tomorrow, December 2nd, we're flying home. Yep, we'll be home. And we're going to be bringing you all these great NCL getaway vlogs that we've done for you while aboard. Remember, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And always remember, travel safe and cruise often.